Power is what we need. Power is what we need if we want to change anything on a global stage or a national stage or a regional stage. Okay? Therefore, if we are serious, we have to make sure we understand the components of power, especially in a democratic society. Power consists of population count, voting count, first of all, and if you don't have that right, you really have no power. The reason why Esmeralda and myself and some other people got involved in analyzing immigration reform, because quietly as it's kept, it is a way of diminishing potential power by people of African descent in the United States. And we just like we don't understand it. So hopefully to this august body, I will say in a few words. Earlier, someone said that the Hispanics have exceeded us or passed us by 2% in the power equation. Okay? We also are faced with the fact that in the year 2025, Europeans will be less than 47% of this country. So Europeans have a problem. Not we. The Europeans have a problem. They have to see who they are going to hook up with to protect them against their mortal enemy, over whom they have committed so many human rights violations and genocide. So they have to pick between Italians. No, they eventually accepted Italians. One time they did. Or Jews. Oh no, they already accepted Jews to keep themselves above the 51% number. Okay? So know who they have less. Asians, Hispanics, and oh no, blacks, never.
Never.
Okay? The only way we can neutralize that equation is by reaching out and dealing with the fact that 1/3 of the so-called Hispanic number are Afro-descendants. And here we are, we reject them. They would love to be considered part of us. But we reject them over terminology. I'm black. I'm African American. I'm proud to be African American. We need to get to the place where we are proud to be of African descent, because that is the only thing that unites us worldwide. So we should be concerned about the fact that in the immigration reform equation, they have reduced Africans from Africa to zero. To zero. That's in the new progressive immigration reform equation. Okay? They have drastically reduced the Caribbean entry into this country in that equation. And they never considered the Afro-Latinos because they had a filter against the African Latinos in the form of racism by the Hispanics who are their allies. Notice I keep using the word Hispanic. Some people tell me don't do that, but I have to. Hispanics are the blood descendants of the Spanish who conquered Latin America and incidentally part of the United States also before it became a nation. Okay? The Hispanics are the ones who got with the Pope and the French, okay, and the Portuguese, and divided up the Americas on the basis that the people, and they were talking about indigenous people at that time, were non-human and at least non-Christian, okay? And then they turned around when they decided that it was economically profitable to exploit the labor of people of African descent. They decided that they were also non-human, and that's who we have to deal with. In fear of the wrong they did, people of European descent are mortally afraid of us. And our only defense is going to be making sure that by having provisions against the Hispanics who, in conjunction with the Foreign Service, perpetuate racism against the entry of people of African descent into the United States, okay? And if we don't get restoration of the kinds of visas that permitted Africans and Caribbeans to come into this country, then we're lost in terms of the equation for 2025. Okay? See where I'm coming from? 2025. I will stop there, and you can ask me any question, right? Because I have two small issues that I want to share in my short time. One is that we in Central America have come up with a new position. We call it the new paradigm for the eradication of poverty. We have declared that we cannot trust any of our governments, incidentally, even if they look like us. Let's get it straight. Even if they look like us. And as Marcus Garvey, of whom I am his disciple, have said, we have to accept and discover that we are people of African descent, and that if we come together and change our mindset, we can liberate ourselves economically. Based on that, we have started an experiment which is succeeding in Central America of linking up people of African descent in all the countries of Central America. And you know what? To use our own resources and the resources of our diaspora to start our own economic initiatives. Okay? And guess what? It is working. Okay? We have selected 4 things that we want to do. One, since we do occupy land, they're trying to remove us from the land. Agriculture is our #1 action. And that's why I want to talk to the ambassador who has experience in that. We're not going to let them move us off the land. And we are going to graduate from subsistence farming to international competition to feed the people of the world, including the people in Africa. The second thing that we target of our effort, we intend to create what we call community tourism. Community tourism. We're going to challenge these hotels that come into our community because we are cute. That's how they come to our country, you know, because we're cute. And then the money leaves by way of the big hotels. We're challenging that. We feel and we know and we have put together master plans for the creation of a system of tourism to compete with those big chains, which incidentally will help take our governments, who we don't trust, out of poverty. Okay? The fourth thing, actually the third thing that we have begun to work on, we have created a consortium of universities, research centers in black communities in the United States with universities and research centers in each one of the countries that we occupy. And we expect to involve them. To join that consortium, you have to agree to work with the community efforts and provide them with capacity building and technology exchange as they help develop sustainably their own communities. And last but most important, we intend to create a market penetration system so that anything you have to sell in the United States, we can sell it for you around the world. But on the flip side, anything that people of African descent have to sell coming out of Central America right now, we can sell it in the United States and around the world. An important component of the last one, which was market penetration, we have to put together a communication system of marketing and providing information globally. And we are going to involve some of the people in this room that are struggling with those issues in that effort. If we get out of our individual frustration because of the enormity of changing a paradigm that was created by the Pope years ago, we have to begin to think differently. We have to decide that the same way we are doing it in Central America,
you need to wrap it up.
We need to transfer that to the 6th region. We need to transfer that to the Caribbean. And we need to use that in our poor communities here in the United States. Thank you.